Hey, rich friends, Dr. TMac here, and welcome to the TMac Inspired Show. I have an absolute treat for you guys, you ladies, today. I have America's #1 mom coach, Miss Hannah Keeley, joining me today. You do not want to miss this episode. Stay tuned. Hey, girl.
Hello, T-Mac. I am so excited to talk with you today. The energy, girl. The energy.
It's all about energy. It's all about alignment.
All about it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
first of all, let's just get this out of the way. We both have 7 kids each.
Together, we could like dominate any sports team. Like we have procreated enough people to basically take authority of any field
We
collectively.
we have a whole clan. I'm
Yeah, we
telling
do.
you. I want to know this because you are America's #1 mom, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
I'm America's #1 mom coach.
mom coach. Yeah. Now, there's so much we can talk about. Let's start there, though. Let's start there. How did that come about? Was it because you started having all the babies, or how did that come about?
It was basically because I came to the end of myself, girl. I was a behavior therapist before I decided to stay at home and have kids. I was pregnant
Mm,
with that first baby, and I'm like, you know what? I want to stay home with this kid. And I had the idea, the illusion, I'll say the illusion of what motherhood was going to be like. And I was going to be all happy and have the little picket fence in the home, and my husband would come home and we'd be so. Oh, my dear Lord. It did not turn out that way. After a few kids, we were so broke. My husband's out of work. And when I say, how some people will say there's nothing to eat in the house, and they mean there's nothing I want to eat in the house. There were times, G-Mac, and I'm just going to be real with you.
yeah.
We couldn't even feed our kids. Like, we would have to go to our church's food pantry a couple
Hmm.
times
Hmm.
because we didn't have the money for groceries. We were so in debt, no money. My house was a cluttered wreck. And to top it all off, the worst thing is I had this debilitating anxiety and depression that just followed me everywhere. And here I was, a behavior therapist. I should know how to deal with this. And none of my tricks and tips were working. None of my strategies that I had learned in school, nothing was working. And I started, actually, this one day, I'm just going to tell you about this one day really quick. It was the turning point in my life.
Hmm.
And I remember walking into my bedroom with a load of laundry that I had full intention of dumping on top of the other 7 loads of laundry that were sitting there waiting to be folded. And I caught a glimpse of myself, and I'm just saying, what I saw
Hmm.
was a shock. Like, I was too young. I
Hmm.
was in my
Hmm.
20s, girl. I was too young to
Mm.
look that old. Like, no life. My husband's clothes, because I'd gained so much weight. I was miserable. And I just fell down on the floor and bawled like a baby, like ugly cry, where you don't know where the tears end and the snot starts. And you're just
Mm.
like, and I remember praying to God, like, please, I need help. I need a miracle. I need something. I need you
Mm.
to do something.
Hmm.
And at that moment, I, the relationship I have with God, I just heard his voice in my heart.
Hmm.
And he said, get up and fold your laundry. And that is not what I wanted to hear. I wanted someone to walk in from Publishers Clearinghouse and say, guess what? We
You.
have a check to pay off all your debt that you were stupid enough to get into. And like all the, guess what? I'm your new workout buddy, and I'm going to get you slim and trim. Like, I wanted something outside of me to rescue me. But
Mm.
when I heard that, I realized all of my clever strategies had not worked. So
Mm.
now I'm going to just be obedient.
Mm.
And I grabbed, I'll never forget, I grabbed one of my husband's socks. It was clean, it was in the clean laundry,
Hmm.
wiped my face off, got up and folded the laundry. It seemed the most pointless thing at the time. But I think what God was telling me there was, you've got enough in you to change this around if you will do what I'm like, step into the opportunity I'm putting before
Mm,
you.
mm,
And from that moment on, I started diving into the mom brain, and I realized why all of the cognitive therapy strategies weren't working for me. I
mm.
realized what was different about me now that I became a mom, and I started just really, it was like stepping into this science lab of trying different strategies that I knew would work with my brain. And when I found something that works, I leveraged it, and all of a sudden, TMAC, we are getting out of debt. The house is clean. I got my joy back. I'm not laying awake feeling that weight of anxiety. And
Mm.
then I started bringing these strategies to other moms, and it just exploded.
Wow, that is powerful. Do you tell them go fold a load of laundry? Is that what you're telling? Is that what
No,
you're telling them?
girl,
Go do
your
the laundry.
your load of laundry ain't my load of laundry. Like, I'm telling you, God knows exactly what is standing in your way. And the problem was, I was always looking for some strategy, something to execute, something to do. And
Mm,
I didn't realize I had to learn to believe something different about myself before I could do anything different with my
different.
life.
Mhm. Well, I mean, you have like a banging body, so I need to know like what
Well, thank
happened.
you.
I mean, 7 kids, you're overweight and all the things, and I'm looking at you like, where did the 7 kids come from? So, what was that transition like? I mean, what happened?
I honestly, I started seeing myself different.
Different.
And
Mm,
this is the
mm,
thing that I see a lot of women, especially moms,
mm.
they have such a negative internal
Image.
dialogue going on, negative image, right? And they see themselves as less, and they see themselves as incapacitated. They see themselves as lacking and insufficient. And before I could change anything about my body or my life or my home, I had to step into a place where it was like, no, I got to believe something different about me.
Got
And
to.
as soon as I started working with the inside, that's why we can't be conformed to the pattern of this world that tries to do everything. We've
Yes.
got to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. We've got to renew the way we think
Think.
about our life, our family, our future, everything, and watch it shift. Like, I didn't go on a diet. I simply changed the way I viewed my body.
Mm. And that was it.
That was really it.
This.
Like, it's You know, we
Yeah,
we wanna complicate it, honestly. We
we
wanna
do.
complicate, like, what you do with your inner circle. I think part of what you do with your inner circle, the main thing, is taking out the confusion, the complication. Like, we wanna make things so hard. We're
Yes.
taught that I gotta hustle and grind in order to get to that next level, and that is, I don't see that anywhere in God's word, is to hustle
Mm,
and grind.
mm-mm.
I see, "Hey, my yoke is easy. You lean on me, and we can figure this out. It's not gonna be as hard as you try to make it."
It's never as hard as we make it. It's
Yeah,
never that
yeah,
way. It's go fold a load of laundry. You know what I mean? It's simple. It's
right.
something like super simple. I was talking to my inner circle yesterday about that. And honestly, this is the way I do it. And I know some people, we have a coach and things together. And some people, the thing that some people literally, they don't like their, I guess, mentees or whatever in their personal space. I'm the opposite. That's just the way that's what, God
Yeah,
called me to do.
yeah,
So what I do is, I'm going to tell you this, it's crazy. I will tell them to work on their dream line when they first come into the inner circle, right?
yeah, yeah.
That is the most difficult thing for them to do because they don't know what they want. The dream line is
Mm,
not about what you don't want. I want you to dream and I want you to write down the things you want.
yeah,
That is one of the hardest things for them to do. Then we meet up here at my house quarterly. The very first time they come to my house, they dream.
yeah.
They literally sit down. We sit down and have our mastermind, and they just start dreaming and talking about the things that
Mm,
they couldn't write down because they
yeah,
couldn't dream. They had to change. And one of the ladies, I'm so super proud of her. Last year, she came and she said, I didn't think I could live like this. I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah.
We were in my swimming pool. You know what she looked at me and said? I
What?
am going home and I'm going to build a house. She closed last week on that house.
Yes, she did.
Come on, somebody.
Yes, she did. I'm telling you that with that's what the biggest temptation is, to lose your dream. Kids don't have a problem with that.
No,
Little kids have no problem with that. And I'm sorry, if you can't enter the kingdom like a little child, you may not enter it at
at
all, because
all.
you've got to be able to dream. You've got to imagine the impossible as becoming possible,
Right.
because you're not limited. You're only as limited. I will say this, you are limited according to what you believe the limitation should be. That's it.
It.
So where are you limiting yourself?
And that's the
That's the
thing.
girl.
She literally
Yes.
said it. She said, I thought of 100 reasons why I could not buy a house. She
Right.
said, and I just came here and I was like, if my coach did it, I can do it. I deserve it too. And she went
Yes.
home and got to work and literally built it from the ground up, her very first house she's ever owned.
So beautiful.
That's
That's
that.
so
I told her,
beautiful.
I said that right. What you did was you broke something inside that you
Yeah.
could have potentially passed down to your children. Because if they
Yeah.
don't see
Yeah.
mommy and daddy doing it, then they don't see that as possible either.
Right. That's what I tell moms. It's like, if you're not going to dream and push and get rid of these barriers and get rid of these obstacles for yourself, you better do it for your kids, because what you don't break in this life, you will pass down to the next.
To the
And
next.
so I just, to think that it could be up to me to prevent the obstacles that my children could potentially face. Like, every mom in the whole world will say, yeah, I will fight tooth and nail for my kid. I will be the mama bear. I will go to war. I will die for that. Then you better die to your limitations. Then you
Come on,
better die to all those places, all those things you said no to. You better die to the old version of yourself, or else you will pass that down to your children and they will have to fight the battles that you refuse to fight.
for sure.
That's
Drop the
what you got to be
mic.
a mama bear about. If I had it, I would.
Drop the
That's
mic.
what you gotta be a mama bear about.
That's what you have to be. Like, long gone are the days of I'm going to protect my kids. You're killing them.
Yeah,
If
you
you're
are.
not dreaming and you don't think you deserve it, and you're not living this lavish life,
Right.
then you're killing your kids. You're killing the
Yeah,
dreams that they had inside of them.
you are. You are. That security blanket has now strangled you.
For sure.
So you
For
gotta let it go.
Let it go. What do you say? Because I know you coach moms, right? What do you
Right.
say to the moms who they're not the breadwinner, right? They're
Right.
not the breadwinner. They want to elevate their life. They know in order to elevate your life, you got to put yourself in a different situation. You got to,
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
invest in, a coach and things like that. You
Yeah.
have to surround yourself around elevated people. What do you
Right.
say to the moms who feel like they can't afford to do that? What do you say to them?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, your number one investment is you.
Mm,
As goes the mom, goes everything else. That's how the household's going to run. That's how the finances are going to run. That's how the kids are going to live their lives out. How you decide to live
mm,
your life out. So that is your number one investment. But I want to challenge this belief that I'm not the breadwinner. I just want to challenge that, because I remember believing that my husband was making. He was a W-2 earner. Bringing home. You're going to laugh at this. $1,200 a month that we managed to live. I know, girl. You talk about, I would like squeeze together two pennies and try to make a nickel. Like, it was hard. But I always thought, well, I'm not the breadwinner. I don't have the power
mhm,
to bring in money. Now, here's what the Bible says. I have given you power to create wealth, that I may establish my covenant with you. It didn't say I have the power to create wealth through your job.
mhm,
I have the power to create wealth through your part-time hustle. It says according to my covenant. So I looked at that and I said, wait, 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 wait. My job is homeschooling 7 kids. I don't see the money coming from that, but that's not limited to it. And I realized this, TMac, a household has 3 different types of money. It
mm,
has paid. paid money. Now, this is that paycheck that comes in, and that's all the enemy wants you to focus on is that
Mm,
paycheck. That's all the money I got. That's it. There's two other you're missing. There's paid, yes, you need that, but there's passive income and there's protected income.
mm,
These are the two that God said, get off your knees.
mhm.
Okay, please God, give my husband a raise. Give my husband a raise. He said, no, no, no. You get up and learn how money works. And I realized then all I would have to do is start any type of side business. And now I'm giving my husband like a $5,000 raise because now I've protected more of that money through a business model. I could get started in real estate investment like you do. And now I've created passive income. What am I doing? I am homeschooling 7 kids, but now I'm responsible for 2 out of the 3 streams of wealth coming into our household. Everything changed from that point on. I'm telling you, when I realized I am not limited, the world says, well, you're not the breadwinner. I'm like, I ain't got to win my bread, baby. My bread comes from heaven, and I got a million ways to do it.
Hannah, girl, listen. What? Hey, we might have 99 problems, but making money ain't one.
It is not one of them. Now, if it is, you just
Fix
don't
it.
know something.
It's one little thing.
You you just don't know something. So link up to those people who know what you don't know. TMac,
I'm just
you can tell someone how to make money in their sleep. And if you're not making money in your sleep, you're going to work every day till you die. And I didn't
saying
want that. I didn't want that for my family. I didn't want the typical scenario of let's squeeze as much money as we can out of this paycheck. Sorry, kids, you can't do soccer this month because we don't have enough money. We can't afford it. That is garbage.
it is
Stop it. Because you're just teaching your kids that they are less than, that they're relegated to a title of poverty. That is not true.
not true.
You are telling them who they are. And everything you say about yourself and everything you say about your life, about reality, about this world, you are telling your kids
Mm-hmm.
what to expect. So
Mm-hmm.
change it up, change your vocabulary, change your belief, and you will change your entire legacy. Girl,
Done.
I'm getting hot.
I'm sweating, girl. Look at my face. I mean, for the
But,
ones who are
well,
listening,
if
they can't see us, but girl, you got me. I'm like, I'm ready to pass the collection plate. Nobody's here but me and my camera guy. But
I'm pitting out right now. I was going to wear this shirt again, but I ain't wearing it again. It's going in the laundry.
I am saying this life, I I wish, this is what I wish for all women. Let's just say this, especially moms, because we are moms, right?
Yeah,
My wish is that you hurry and get rich
yeah,
in all areas, not just money, but
yeah.
get rich so that you can start getting wealthy because it's different,
Mm,
right?
mm,
That is my
mm.
wish. I want you to get rich first. Get rich in love, get rich in faith, get rich in patience, get rich in money, all the things.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then when you're rich in these areas, it transitions to wealth,
yeah, yeah.
a
It
wealthy
just does.
lifestyle. It has
Yes.
nothing else to do but do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now here's what I want to challenge people with. When you said hurry up and get rich, there are some people, I know it. There are some people that went, oh, they got this little like, oh, I don't know. That's
Mm,
kind of icky,
mm,
right? They got this reaction. Okay, test yourself. Did you have any energy reaction, any shift
mm,
when T Mac said that, when she said, hurry up and get rich? Because that reveals the extent to which you resist that, reveals the level to which you have been brainwashed about money.
mm.
I mean, I really want you to think about that right now. If you had any resistance when she said that, it's not revealing anything about God's ability to get you wealthy. It's revealing everything that you have been brainwashed to believe about money.
Mhm.
One of the most selfish things you can believe. And I might shock some of your listeners. Maybe not, because I know who follows you. One of the most one of the most selfish things you can believe is I just need enough for me and my family and I'm fine.
Mm.
When did wealth ever have anything to do with you? What if it has everything to do with what is supposed to come through you and change this world? I got news this morning. I'm so excited. We have just launched our third church in India. So now we have two, right? We have two orphanages, 50 children, and now we just launched our third church in a poverty village that needs the gospel more than anything else.
Oh my
If
God.
I had thought, no, I just need enough for
For
me
me and my
and my
family.
family and
Mm-mm.
we're good. The world's bigger than you and your family, babe. A whole lot bigger. There are people in pain. There are people in schools right now that are afraid they're not going to go home alive. There are places in other countries where people don't have anything to eat. There are places downtown where you live, 5 minutes away, where people don't have
Mhm.
something to eat. So get your eyes off you and your family and get the bigger picture of what God wants to do through
Through
you,
you.
in you, and out of you.
For sure. For sure.
Now I am sweating.
I know. I know. I know. I know. It's okay though. It's
It's
okay.
so good.
It
It's so good.
is.
And it's that
These
sweet balm of Gilead.
But these are the conversations that have to be had. Like we
Girl, I'm
can
telling
tell,
you.
like we could have had this conversation could have gone like this. Hannah, what do you have to offer people? And you could have
Well,
said,
let
I
me
got,
tell you about my program.
yeah, I have this, and it costs this, and this.
Right.
It could have gone that way.
Yeah.
But it's not about that.
No. Never
This is not,
was.
it never was.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
about being authentic and saying, this is where I came from, and this is how I transitioned my life.
Right.
I
Right.
transitioned my life this way,
Yeah.
and you're speaking, I'm telling you, you're speaking to the person who needs to hear this right now because they are
Right now.
where you were then.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, the amount of worry I had around money, the amount of stress around money, I'm telling you guys, worry is just worship in the opposite direction.
Ooh, I haven't
Who are
heard
you
that.
bowing your knee? I just heard it from my mouth.
This girl.
I literally just heard it come out of my mouth. I'm like, oh, that had to be Holy Spirit. I ain't smart enough for that.
Wow, say it
But it
again. Say
is.
it again. Say it again.
What I say? Say that
Worry
word.
is just
Worry
worship.
is worship in the opposite direction. So my God was money because I didn't have any of it.
Mm,
And that's what I thought would fix everything. That's what I thought was my
mm,
source.
mm-hmm. But it's
But as
not.
soon as I said, no, no, that is, I will not. That's why Jesus said you can't serve both.
Mm-mm,
Like
mm-mm,
you can't. One will have mastery over you. So you see what's mastering your heart right now. If
mm-hmm,
there is stress and anxiety around money, around caring for your kids, around creating a legacy, that's exactly where you need to turn away from and say, you know what, I'm going to risk. I'm
mm-hmm,
going to let it go.
mm-hmm,
There's a story in the Bible about the rich young ruler.
mm-hmm,
He could not let the money in his hand go to
mm-hmm.
receive the wealth that
That God
Jesus
had for
offered.
him. Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do it. And it was going to
Hold
be
on.
now in this life. He was offering him a multiplication of what he had, but this was his God. This was his source. God
Mm,
has no problem with you having wealth. He has a lot of problems with wealth having you.
mm,
He had to put that down and he couldn't. Why can't you put it down? Why can't you let that money go so you can learn the skill that you need to step into the multiplication, the things that you offer, TMac, the things that we offer.
mm-hmm.
It's like don't confuse it.
Yeah.
One is going to be your master.
You get to choose which one.
You get to choose. So
You
if
get
it's what's in your hand, if that is what is keeping you alive, then you keep holding on to it and see what happens to your stress level
mm-hmm.
because it ain't going to go down.
Mm-mm. It's not. I saw where
No.
you help moms with their stress level. What is that
Yes.
about? What's the framework for that?
Oh my goodness. Well, the mom brain just functions differently. Like
Okay.
your brain, I don't know if you've ever seen these studies, but there was a study where they did MRIs with women
Mm-hmm.
before and after they had children,
Mm-hmm.
right? Their brain changes anatomically and
Mm-hmm.
cognitively. You don't have the same brain. And you're like, no wonder my kids are making me lose my mind. They literally have made me lose my mind. Like I don't have the gray matter I used to have. Like brain juice is oozing out of my ears as I'm looking at you. But
Yes.
we have to understand this. So we have to like the stress level we create in our
Yes.
lives
Mm-hmm.
is just because we're trying to do things the old way. We haven't learned a new way. So what I do is I help moms understand how they think, understand there's nothing wrong with them. You're not broken. You don't have ADHD. You can say you do if you want to. That makes you feel better, but it ain't helping you. You're just it's your sorry.
Mm-hmm. I
I
mean,
step
it's
on
true.
so many toes. I tell people if you want me to coach you, you better come with steel toe boots and big girl pants because this is just the way I
Yeah.
do it. So as long as you take possession of, well, this is just my problem. I don't have a good attention span. I just am easily distracted. I'm just a worrier. You will stay that way.
For
And so
sure.
we have to learn to work with the time that we have, with the strategies we have. I remember one time, TMac, this is so funny. I was coaching this mom and she did not have time to plan meals. Like at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, she didn't have time to like some things I say is like do favors for your future self.
Mm,
Like plan ahead so you don't have that stress. She said, I just don't have time. Like morning to night, I'm going a million miles a minute, and I don't have
mm,
time to even lay out my clothes the night before. I said, and it was a call like this, like it was a Zoom call, right? I said, do you have your phone near you? She said,
mm.
yeah. I said, grab your phone. She said, okay. I said, open up this thing called Screen Time app. She opened it up.
Excuse me.
I
Uh-huh.
said, open up this thing called Screen Time app. She opened it up, right? I said, how many hours did you spend on screen time? She went, oh. I said,
Uh-huh.
no, 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 no.
How many?
How many minutes? She said 7 hours and 40 minutes. I
Ooh,
said, but you don't have
that's a job. You could have been
girl.
clocked in somewhere
You could have clocked in at Target and been a cashier, right? And I was like, but you don't have time to lay your clothes out before you go to bed or pack the meals for the next day. Just
Mm,
I just want to be clear with you.
mhm,
I just want to make sure we understand each other. And sometimes we don't even know we're living on like we're just like not consciously living,
mhm,
right? It's like
mhm,
autopilot.
mhm.
So once we bring our unconscious to a conscious level, then we can start creating the life that we want to live. And that changes from the inside out. I don't do like if someone's like, give me like 10 tips. I will tell you something between me and you, right? All these news programs that I do and these morning shows, and they want to know these tips. I'll come on and give them the tips, but I'm like, that ain't gonna
That ain't
help
gonna work.
you. It ain't gonna work. I will tell them, here's how to spring clean your house, and here's how to, help your kids with their scheduling, and here's how to manage the new summer activities. And that's what moms want. I get it. So that's what shows up on TV. That is not going to help you until you learn to change what you believe about yourself. It's all just going to be actions that fall flat. You are a human being, not a human doing. We just get it confused.
You have to be the person. You have to become the person. That's what you said
Yes.
earlier. I said, "How'd you lose the weight?" Like I'm waiting for the steps.
Right.
No,
I
I
did
thought
keto for 45 days. No, I didn't. I didn't do whole 30. I didn't do keto. I didn't do Weight Watchers. I didn't eat think bars and drink Coke. I changed what I told myself when I looked in the mirror butt naked.
come on,
That is where it begins. What do you believe about your body?
yourself.
That's going to show up. Every cell in your body is eavesdropping on your internal dialogue
Oof,
about
oof.
yourself.
Girl, I gotta get up and I gotta shout on that one.
I need a tambourine. I need a tambourine. Somebody give me a tambourine.
Listen, it is so true. Every single cell in your body is listening to your internal conversation.
And let me tell you what else. Every dollar in your bank account or every dollar that wants to be in your bank account
All
is
energy.
eavesdropping on your internal dialogue around money. You're
It's all
creating your life, whether you like it or not. You are creating your life.
you are. You are. Whatever
Yeah,
you think and grow rich. Not
yeah,
work and grow rich. You cannot work
right.
your way to wealth.
You can't do
It's a
it.
thinking thing and it's an
Yeah.
internal thing. You don't think externally, you think internally. These are
Now, here's the
internal.
problem.
Go ahead.
No, everyone is listening right now is saying you make it sound so easy because it is.
Because it
If
is.
you think it's hard, it will be hard. I've had the hard.
I don't
Like
like
I
hard.
made millions and then I got distracted and I thought it was hard and I had to put effort and I lost millions and now gaining millions. Like, I don't want that to be your life. I don't want you to hit
Mm.
seven figures and go back to six. I don't want you to hit six and go back to five or four, three or
It's
zero.
not a good feeling. Let's
Oh,
let's be clear. Been there, done that. It's not a good
yeah.
feeling. Like
No,
you want
it's not.
if you're at 7, the next place is 8. Okay,
Eight,
not 6.
eight.
We're going the other way.
Right,
But it all
right.
but it took a shift in your mind, right? You had to do something
It,
different
too.
mentally.
I had to do something different.
Yeah,
So that's why you've got to be with those people who know what you don't know.
yeah.
Like the idea of having a mentor is like that's your shortcut, baby.
Cheat code.
It's not a free download you found by searching something on Google. Having the person who honestly, now what I know about you is you honestly love to see people succeed.
Oh yeah.
Like I celebrate. I'll go to bed at night and my husband's like, "You just talk on and on and on about your clients and this person did this and oh my gosh, she just launched a new business and she just got 3 new clients," and he's like, "All right, let's go to bed."
Yeah, it's time. It's night night. Yeah, night
Like,
night.
come
But
on, come
no,
on.
we're
Shut up
pumped.
so we can do something.
We're pumped when they win. Like I want,
Yeah,
and I call like literally. I have a circle. They're called Rich Friend Circle,
yeah,
right? I
yeah.
call them, "Hey, rich friends." They're really, it's here. It's here. Nobody's gonna
Yes.
say, "Hey, poor friend." Hey, broke friend. Nobody wants a broke friend
Oh, if you got your broke friends, you got to break free of that, baby.
for sure.
Because you become like the 5 people you hang around. But here's the problem with moms, okay? I
Mm.
know you've heard that. You become like the 5 people you hang around. I remember hearing that. It's called the law of wait, hold on. What is it called? No, it's not the law of influence. It is the law of, come on, help me out, T-Mac.
Attraction?
No,
No.
no, dang it. Association,
Yes, yes,
association.
yes, yes, yes. Okay. Law
Okay,
of
law of
association.
association. You
Okay.
become like the 5 people you hang around. I remember
Mhm.
hearing this in this rally and like this personal
Mhm.
development thing, and everyone's all psyched up and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I had a moment.
Mm.
I'm like, let's see. Let me tell you of the 5 people I hang around. They white boogers on the wall. They pee in their pants. I have to bathe them at night. They won't eat anything except chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese. These are my 5 people. I'm like, "Okay, so where does that leave me?" I'm looking at all these, like, businessy people,
Yeah. Yeah.
in their suits. And here I am, like, with, like, the babysitter on speed dial, who was my husband. But and so I'm like, "Where does that leave me?" And that's when I realized moms need that network, a crafted network, because moms form their associations by default, not design. They're
Mm.
the people that we hang out with who go to our church. They're the people in our neighborhood. They're the people who are the parents of our kids' activities, the other stage parents or whatever, the baseball parents.
Mhm.
Those are our associations. We don't design that. We kind of fall into it.
By
And I
default.
saw,
By default.
yeah, by default.
Mhm.
Default. I don't default into it.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you've ever seen Mean Girls, you know you don't want to be a part of that tribe
Mm-mm.
who does not they don't want to see you succeed because then it'll threaten them.
Mm.
So I realized I have got to develop a community
Mm.
I want those moms who, when I start falling behind, they're like, "Oh no, you are not on my watch. Get up off that tail. Let's get going." They're the ones who, if I'm in a dark alley, they're going to be there with me.
Mhm.
If I'm in the ring, they're going to be the ones whipping off their stilettos and their hoops,
Mhm.
and they're going to be in there with me.
Yep.
Those are the people you need. Those people in your circle, in my circle. These are
Mhm.
the people that we need in
Mhm.
our corner.
Yes. 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 Isn't it? It makes life easy. It
It
makes life
does.
easy when you're
Yeah.
surround when number one, when you have a mentor, a great mentor such as yourself.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it makes life easy when you have that go-to person. It makes it even easier when you're inside of that community of other with other
Mhm.
moms. who think
Yeah.
the way you think. We
Yes.
all think we're crazy, but we're really not. We and they have
Yeah.
strategies and they can talk and bounce things off of each other. Like that's the rich life, right? Moving towards
That's
the
it.
wealthy
And
life.
right. And then success becomes so much more attainable because you're with the people who are achieving it every single day.
Okay.
It doesn't become like this once in a blue moon. Oh my gosh, this cool, amazing thing. No, this is on the daily.
On the
Like we
daily.
have to keep momentum.
But
And
you
that's
know
why
why
you
that
got to get
momentum keeps going though, right?
why?
Because it started.
Yes. That's
You
a way
got
to
to
say it.
start.
You gotta start. You've got to take action. 2/3 of God's name is go. I remember hearing my friends say that. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's go time. I
it's go
There's a
time.
verse in the Bible that has so spoke to me. It says, "The righteous live by faith. We are not of those who shrink back."
Right.
If you're shrinking back, all that means is that you're stepping into unfamiliar territory, and that's okay.
Hey.
Don't let that make you back up. Use it as inspiration to move forward because everything you want is on the other side of fear. You got to face it. Don't let yourself back away.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You don't want the hard life. You want an easy life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what? We need the easy button. I
Yeah.
need to buy me an
I need to
easy
have one
button.
right here.
Yeah. When I get overwhelmed, because I get overwhelmed too. We all do.
Yeah.
When I get overwhelmed with, trying to analyze deals and properties, and oh my God, I don't know what to do with this property. Oh, I got to pull this, da, 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 all the things. And then wait a minute, this is not supposed to be hard. This is not supposed to be hard.
No.
And I have to
No.
take a step back. This is
Yeah.
supposed to be easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were
But it won't be
programmed.
easy.
Yeah.
We're programmed for hard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, actually, your internal programming is for easy, but you've been indoctrinated by this world to believe it's hard.
Hard. Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you need to be in the circle of people who are like, I do this before breakfast. Like, come on,
Yeah.
let's go. You got to be with those people, or else life will always be hard.
It will always be hard.
How long do you want it to be hard? You get to choose.
You get to choose.
Yeah. And that's the thing. God is never going to force. I remember hearing this one person. It was about a week ago. She's talking to me and she
Mm-hmm.
wants to be a coach. And she said, "Well, I just feel like if it's meant for me, it will come to me." And I said, "I can get how that makes you feel good." Now that's when this one person who knew me, she's my client, she backed away from the table. She said, "Oh crap, I know where this is going." She
Mm-hmm.
backs away from the table and she said, and that other lady leans in. She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, I can understand how that would give you a sense of peace around that. But let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you something. There was this woman who, for 12 years, fought a disease of hemorrhaging, and she could not get her healing. It came to her one day. Jesus came into town. He did not go into her room to give her healing. She just knew the opportunity showed up. Now I'm going to risk my life. And she
Mm-hmm.
did risk her life because at that time, in biblical
Mm-hmm.
times, if a woman who was bleeding went out of her house,
Yep.
she could have been stoned to death.
To death. Right.
She got out of her house. That wasn't all. She elbowed her way through the crowd. That
Mm-hmm.
wasn't all. She grabbed hold of this rabbi's robe,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden he felt it. He felt it pour out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you don't need luck.
Mm-mm.
The opportunity's there. You need to seize it, just like she did. And
Mm.
he felt everyone's grabbing at him, right? Everyone wants a miracle, but she risked it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to just come to you.
Mm-hmm.
The door will open for you,
Mm-hmm.
but it will not come to you. You step through
But
that door. She did it that day. She grabbed hold. And in that one moment, all 12 years of pain, there was a recompense, changed her
gone.
life.
Gone. Gone.
Gone.
Girl, that was the mic drop right there. Oh my God. That was the mic drop. I mean, because you literally, that was the lesson. Here's what you do.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gave them the action step. You've already told them they got to be the person. All the things that girl, I could not have like set this thing up any better, right? I just show
No.
up. Like I don't do
Y'all, it's so
questions.
funny. The notes you sent is like, we're just going to talk. I'm like, that's cool. Let's just talk.
Some people are like, what are you going to ask me? I don't
I don't know. People do that to me too. They're like, well, give me the questions you're going to ask me on the podcast. I'm like, I don't know what they are.
know. I don't have questions. We just
I'm like,
talk.
I'll tell my assistant, I'm just make up something. I don't know.
I told mine. He was like, what should I say? I said, copy and paste from the last person to ask.
That's right. Because I probably won't get to it.
This has been so much fun, Hannah. Hannah, let everybody know how they can find you, reach you, follow you, and all those things.
Hit me up on Instagram. I'm right there, Hannah Keeley. Just hit me up on Instagram. If you need a mom makeover, if that's like your thing, I have made this door so easy for you. I have an entire mom makeover for $4.95. So if you can't spend if you need your Starbucks for $5 more than a mom makeover, then you just go get your Starbucks. But I have to have an entire mom makeover. It's called Mom Fog. It helps you deal with your mom brain and walks you out of there in less than 3 weeks. So if you go to Mom Fog Book, we just launched it. I'm like, I am not going to let any mom have an excuse on not to radically transform their life.
Okay, so I'll have all the links below and all the things.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll have everything. Hannah, this has been a pleasure, an absolute
so much
ball.
fun.
So much fun.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, yes. I told you that this episode was going to be fire. Isn't Hannah just amazing? Oh my God, I absolutely love her. And I hope that you did too. If you did, go ahead, like the video, comment, subscribe, share it. Share the video to other people who you think may like it as well. If you're listening, if you're on a podcast and you're listening to it, then share it as well. It's shareable, okay? Rate this podcast and let me know what you think. And always remember, Dr. TMac said you can have it all. See you next time.